we accept it or not, we live in the age of disruption. Disruption is an element of everyday life. There are numerous examples of new products, services and ideas that radically change the rules of the game and offer new innovative, fresh and more efficient solutions to the numerous demands faced by humans and businesses alike. The term disruptive innovation was coined by Clayton Christensen and involves a process by which a product or service takes root initially in simple applications at the bottom of the market and then relentlessly moves upmarket, eventually displacing established competitors. An innovation that is disruptive, in the words of Clayton Christensen, allows a whole new population of consumers access to a product or service that was historically only accessible to consumers with either a lot of money or a lot of skill. Let me change the subject slightly and talk about sport. Until 1954, many people thought that the sub 4-minute mile was impossible for human physiology. There was the widespread conception that the species was just not engineered for that. For years, the record hovered around 4 minutes and 2 seconds. But one man proved them wrong, Roger Bannister, who did 3 minutes and 59.4 seconds. Actually, that wasn't the important thing. The important thing was what took 150,000 years of evolution to achieve. That man to do this record took only 46 more days for another man to do the same. That was a typical example of disruption. Roger Bannister disrupted the commonly held perception of what the biology of human species could do. The limits of the human species actually stretched the limits of the human mind before it stretched the limits of human biology. The example here illustrates the following, that once disruption happens, then it creates a very powerful paradigm for other people to believe that something is possible, and actually it expands opportunities because it's viral and exponential. It's not a linear phenomenon. That's why businesses need to be very aware of its potential in terms of expanding and growth. Actually, that's what we're trying to do a little bit today, bring examples from biology, behavioral sciences, economics and business to demystify disruption. Start from breaking it down into its components, right? That's a good start. First of all, it's an interruption. And humans, we don't like interruptions to the way we are used to seeing things. At the same time, it requires conscious reflection of reality and the way we've been doing things, we are doing things, and things may happen in the future, as well as action. And this action, there's a time urgency attached to it, because there are other players out there in the market, for example, that are striving for similar outcomes. So time is essential. So all of the above make disruption uncomfortable for humans, because we like our routines, something that has been recognized in behavioral economics as the most efficient form of organization. From a classical evolutionary theory perspective, there's a natural selection process. Every organization naturally selects a model of organization, a routine, in order to respond to external environment and its internal systems. However, this is great when we've got stable environments. In environments of constant change and relentless change, like the ones we're experiencing today, that is not enough. Organizational routines fall short in terms of learning from what is actually happening and anticipating the possibilities of the future. That's why organizations and individuals alike need to kind of develop this skill called dynamic capability, which is a meta-ability to look at both our routines and the changes in the environment and try to find the good medium, the middle way somewhere to bridge these two. And there's another typical example from the economics theory, from Nasser Nicholas Taleb, the black swan phenomenon. Because humans are uncomfortable with things they haven't experienced before. They think them impossible, they think of them as impossible. Like the recent financial services giant collapse of Lehman Brothers. Who would have thought it would have been possible, right? But it was possible. And that was an opportunity or a threat in a way. The most important thing becomes here really, not just predicting black swans, because sometimes it's impossible to predict a black swan if you don't have all the information necessary. The important thing is to have developed these capabilities and abilities to adapt to the conditions, the changing conditions, very fast. That becomes critical for survival and growth for individuals and organizations alike. But humans, unfortunately or fortunately, are hardwired to make fast decisions based on assumptions, shortcuts, and limited information that is based on their mental schemas of the world, which don't actually and always capture the whole reality or truth. So they can really miss out on critical pieces of information that could lead to the opportunity of a disruptive phenomenon. Because we can't do too many things at the same time. We're serial processors, very fast, but serial. And we can't hold too many pieces of information at the same time in our short-term memory unless they are connected to our full memory base and database, actually. So, this creates a little bit of bias for humans in terms of their anticipation of the future. That's why it becomes critical for us to be really conscious of what's happening around us in an open-minded way. And this is actually the first time in human history that we have this tremendous ability, evolutionary-wise, our brains and brain-body systems, our organizations, to embrace and harness the power of disruption and in kind of encourage it as a key evolutionary mechanism. First of all, recognize it and then encourage it as a key revolutionary mechanism as well. But that will, in business in particular, will require fundamental changes in the way we look at business. So we need to create new value ecosystems, as well as new leadership models to allow for both failure and success alike. Because organizations, sometimes when they do something really successfully, either they forget about it, they think it was their doing, although maybe the conditions have helped a lot, and then they kind of don't delve deep into finding out what has worked in order to know what will not work when the conditions of the market change. I would like to finish with a very, very well-known quote by Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the ones most responsive to change. Thank you.